back to another episode of the Roadmap Writers Human First podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Gabriel Tice. I'm Roadmap's Director of Digital Marketing and Brand Management.
And I'm Nicole Betts, TV writer and Sprouts vitamin clerk.
I'm GT Cruz, writer, producer, and social media manager on Roadmap's TikTok account.
So we're back with another episode, and this time we're going to be doing something a little different. We're talking about a space in the film industry that has become increasingly influential and relevant, but I think is still kind of enigmatic to a lot of folks who come up in more traditional media spaces, right? We're talking about verticals. And if you don't know, verticals are just what they sound like. It's, I hate to use the word content, that you can watch on your phone, right? On apps like TikTok.
They're anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, so bite-sized content, serialized, and a lot of the time kind of soapy, melodramatic, vampire and werewolf infused content that you can watch for 2 to 5 minutes a pop.
Yeah, they're very much soap operas, the soap operas of our generation, because they're very heavy in like romance and different romance, drama,
and sexy vampires.
Yeah, sexy vampires. What was that company? I should have looked this up beforehand. What is that company that like tried to go into verticals and ended up failing spectacularly?
Was it Quibi?
Quibi.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yes. Quibi was ahead of its time because that's exactly what Quibi was doing. They were trying to like get into that space.
But weren't they trying to make it this A-list, super premium content? Like, I don't remember the names they were floating around, but it was like they were trying to start like a super prestigious vertical platform.
Yeah, they were trying to be the Netflix of verticals, but they didn't realize that they couldn't spend money like Netflix.
But you're right, GT. That they were ahead of their time. We laughed at them at that time, and now
we sure did.
Well, the miscalculation that they made is that they spent all that money on getting stars, on mega productions. I mean, I'm sure millions and millions of dollars were being poured into those episodes. True. But what they didn't know is that all you needed was a mansion, a sexy werewolf, and a sexy vampire.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and someone like our guest to work on it.
Yeah, so we're talking to someone who has worked in verticals directly. She is a writer-director from France with a PhD. We can't wait to bring her on to chat with her. I'm waiting for her to introduce herself because she has a French name, being from France, and being an Anglophile. I'm not going to attempt to butcher the French language. I think that
having people butcher your name all your life, you don't really want to go down that path as well.
Yeah. My name gets butchered, which that's a nice reverse if I ever mispronounce somebody's name, if mostly people are very, very forgiving and are happy to just educate me, but if anybody ever gets indignant, like, how do you think my last name is pronounced? So
yeah, I was calling him Gabe Thesis for a long time, so I realized that was wrong.
That is so common. Where is the second S in my name?
Your brain just adds it.
In my brain, that's where it is.
I think there's a Mandela effect that could be going on with some people.
I think so too. I think you were Gabe Thesis in the alternate universe.
Back when there was the Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
I am dead set that shit was changed. Because I remember seeing those books in the library, and they clearly said Berenstain Bears.
So before we bring our guest on, I have to ask my co-hosts, what are we reading? What are we watching?
GT, you can answer. I've not been having any fun doing anything, just working. So watching my
what I've been watching, something that stands out to me that I've been watching recently is The Gilded Age. And
who does that show? That's not Ryan Murphy, is it?
No, it is. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. It's the same person that did Downton Abbey.
Oh my gosh, that's why my mother has been watching it.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a big Downton Abbey.
Aren't all mothers? Wasn't that show
know.
made for mothers?
I don't know. It was not my mom.
What's it on?
Another Mandela effect. I was calling it Downtown Abbey for the longest time. But really, it's Downton Abbey. But it's the same. It's the same person who does Downton Abbey. And I'll have to look up his name. But the reason that I love the Gilded Age is because it gives this. Not only does it give this glimpse into sort of the high end of the aristocrats in America, but it also has subplots of the Black aristocrats that were in Brooklyn. So you get to see like Black wealth, like Black aristocrats with their help, with their houses, with their giant gowns and outfits. It's really amazing, and it's something that that you don't really see at all. Not even history books really delve into like the Black aristocrats.
No, I remember the Watchmen show on HBO showed the Tulsa massacre of Black Wall Street, of the Black Wall Street in the 20s, but that was that didn't show the wealth, that showed the tragedy,
sort of the
Usually
aftermath, sort of the destruction.
Yeah.
His name is Julian Fellows.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, Julian Fellows.
That'd be a great supervillain name.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is British, and a lot of villains end up being British in our American movies.
Yeah, you didn't have to tell me he was British. Julian Fellows, that's
Fellows.
And you're also wearing a House shirt. Have you been rewatching House, or is that just what you got out of the closet this particular day?
This is I used to work at Fox, and we used to get swag from the different shows. So this is my House shirt.
Have you seen House?
Oh yeah, I watched House. I watched House all the way through.
Okay.
It also has, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if this is going to be awkward, but it actually has, I don't know if you can see a part of the script.
Oh,
that's cool.
On it.
That's cool.
So some dialogue. So yeah, this is my writery shirt.
That's what makes it swag.
Be inspired. Yeah.
That's what makes it swag.
Speaking of, we need swag. I was going to say, we need some roadmap shirts that we can wear on the podcast for those that can actually, that we're actually watching this visually.
Yeah, I think that's on the way. I mean, I know that we have tons of swag and merch that we hand out at the in-person events. So make sure that you attend those whenever you get the chance. There's always some in LA. Well, always there's habitually some in LA. We're doing one
sometimes in Austin. The Austin Film Festival. You guys go down there.
Exactly. And we're actually doing 2 mixers on the East Coast as of the time of this recording. We're doing one in Philly. I'll be hosting that one. And then we're doing one in New York, where our CEO, Joey Tuccio, will be.
Wow. Do you know the date?
Yeah, the Philly mixer is the 25th of July. And New York is the 19th.
Okay. Just in case people are listening and they're like, oh, the date passed. This is old.
Yeah. Likely that will get clipped out. That's
if that happens. So hopefully this launches before then. I love how this just dovetailed into roadmap promotion. We're getting really good at this.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. So speaking of promotion, we're going to take a quick ad break before we interview our guest. So you'll hear a quick word from our sponsor, who also happens to be us. We're the sponsor. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another round of 3 questions with Roadmap Exec. Today, I'm joined by Justin Ross. Starting in the industry as a writer, Justin is the Executive Vice President of Bohemia Group Originals. Question 1. What impresses you most about a screenplay?
I think it's energy, if I had to boil it down to a word. And if I could add another word, it would be emotion. There's an emotional impact, there's a energy and then a quality to the writing, of course. But even if the writing isn't quite there, if it has that emotional impact and it keeps me captivated, regardless of the genre, regardless of the specifics of the story, if it has compelling characters that are layered and rich, that's what's going to keep me engaged, and that's what keeps me in this business and excited every day to see what I'm going to be reading or what world I'm going to be diving into, whether that's with a writer or with a group of writers or just here by myself reading the script solo.
What is reoccurring advice that you give to writers?
Relax and let things flow. A lot of times, writing is a very solo exercise a lot of the time, and we can get, as writers, very caught up in our headspace and think we're not doing it right, or we're not doing enough, or that the story isn't good, or we don't have enough talent. And it's silencing those voices, if you will, in our head to let the creative flow and let it be what it is. I say it at the beginning of any pitch prep session that I do, to just relax and breathe and let the story flow. Tell me about what you want to tell me about.
Question 3. What's your favorite thing about working with roadmap writers?
It's the people. 100% it is the people. And that includes very much my fellow execs, and it absolutely includes the writers. I've never had a bad experience working through any of the means and programs or anything at Roadmap Writers.
Dalya, if you would like to introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. So my name is Dalya Guerin. I'm a director, script supervisor, writer, and sometimes podcast producer. And I'm originally from France. I moved in the US like over 10 years ago now. And I had a academic background, and I was interested more into creative outlets. And I think that my arrival in the US really helped me to have a fresh start from that move. Um, and so I've been working on different projects since I arrived, directed short films, music videos, written also screenplays that have done their little festival circuit. And I've also expanded on my network, and I've started to work as a script supervisor for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, I would say. And recently, I would say for the last 8 months now, I've been working on a lot of vertical sets. And yeah, I've been booked regularly on the set. So I believe this is one of the main point of interest of this episode for you. And
Yes.
I understood that you have lots of questions for that. I'm going to try to answer those questions to the best of my abilities, because I don't have all the knowledge, but I can for sure provide some insight that may interest your listeners. So.
Something that really piqued my interest about verticals and made me curious to explore them more is just how much they've been adding to the economy and how much that they have been helping people in the industry with job security. I know I have a lot of friends back in LA who have been largely paying the bills by doing verticals, which is, at the time that we're recording this, California just announced a new package of tax incentives to bring productions back to the state, but there was something of an exodus of, television, film, music videos, the more traditional spaces of media production that we associate with Hollywood. Verticals have been filling that gap for a lot of people.
It definitely has, and it definitely has for me as well, because I was working mostly on feature and shorts and TV pilots before that, and it started to be like way more difficult to get those gigs. And I'm talking for myself, but I'm talking for at least the people I know who are in the industry too. So I fully agree with what you just said, Gabriel. And yeah, it's like it's taking definitely a space that has been left vacant by a lot of indie productions. And commercial is a little like different. I still have a lot of friends working on commercials right now. But the indie feature film market is very silent right now. That, I mean, from my point of view, and that's just me.
How many verticals have you worked on so far, and
Uh,
what has been like your favorite?
I started to stop counting, but I think I'm over 10, so I might be between 10 and 15, something like that.
Oh.
These
So,
are all series. They're all like,
so
episodic series.
there are all series. So the scripts I've been working on, so basically like the I've been working on verticals that we were shooting between 6 to 10 days. And of course, the script is like has a different length depending on the number of shooting days. I mean, it's the opposite. The number of shooting days is like adjust to the length of the script. So we can go to 50-ish, 60 pages script long to 90, 110 pages script long. And we and like the structure of this, so like I'm working on those as script supervisor, so I can tell you a lot about the structure of the scripts. um and I would say there's a lot of extra beats that are in basically act two that are just repeated over and over for 20 to 30 pages in the second part of act two. uh, Most of the time those like kidnapping scenes, so it's like there's a lot of repetitions, like, and there's a lot of cliche, and I use the word in, in a very non-shameful way, because this is like we work with cliche, and there's no shame. We're not aiming at doing something original. We're looking at content and not um, an original idea of a indie writer director or something like that. That's not
Yeah.
what we. I think that something that was very interesting on the last shoot I did, I was on set last week, was to say that what it looks way more like a commercial, like we're shooting a commercial than we're shooting a, a story.
So there is a script
Mhm.
that you adhere to, and it sounds like it's actually one feature length script, between 80 to
Yeah.
over
It,
100
it
pages.
it goes between like a TV pilot length to a feature length. So I had like
Hmm.
experience where we were shooting for 6 days and other we were shooting for 10 days. So when it's 6 days, it looks way more than like a TV pilot. And when it's 10, more like a feature length. Go for it, sorry.
So you shoot the whole script,
Mhm.
and then they chop it up into all of these
Yep.
like bite-sized episodes. Like, how long is the typical does the
Okay.
typical episode turn out?
Yes. So each episode is basically a minute to a minute 30 seconds, I would say.
A
Uh,
minute, 1 minute?
yeah,
Oh,
it goes
Wow.
very fast. And it's all connected to the business model it is built on. Uh, it's like you have to, I don't know how familiar, like, have you downloaded some of them? Have you watched some of them?
I watched
I
a few
I
of them.
know.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
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 GT's an expert by now.
Okay, GT's an there are like three major leader in the vertical world that you have probably heard of now, which are Real Short, Drama Box, and Good Short. But you have more and more popping up everywhere. One of the way they work on like the financial aspect of it is a lot of them have taken some financial systems from the video games, the video games app that you have on your phone. So like Candy Crush, I don't know, you're reaching a level, and then if you want to access another level, or if you want to buy more, I don't know, strawberries, you're gonna have to pay for some coins. So you're gonna, $9.99 to get your extra strawberries. Well, here you have the same kind of systems. For instance, for Dramabox, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can watch like everything I'm saying right now is super important for the writing part, because we are writing the way that people are writing for TV shows, because the 5 breaks for the acts comes from commercials. I don't teach you anything on that. But for those verticals, every writers who work on those verticals have to think about those breaks that are happening. And there is a moment where there's going to be a paywall. And the paywall needs to have succeeded in hooking up your audience. So when they are faced with the option to either buy coins to keep watching your content, or either watch advertisement, but you are allowed to only watch 10 ads until you hit the second paywall that has to be set up by the writers to really have hooked forever your audience. You have to be like, yeah, ready. And so we, for instance, on set, we pay a lot of attention. Like the director I was working with on the last one, he really carved out more time for the scenes that were happening right before paywall 1 and right before paywall 2. So this is why I'm like also making those comments about commercials, because this is more content than story that we're making.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. So you're doing
No.
things that, like you said, are cliche because it works. It's proven effective. Yeah. I worked for a similar company, except it was audio. So especially with coins and everything. So it's interesting. How did you get your first vertical gig?
I got it because it was completely random. I was visiting my boyfriend on set, who's a Steadicam camera operator, and he was working on one of those verticals, and I visited him because it was a little far out of, it was in Idlewild, and I had a day off, and then the crew was there, and I started to talk with a script supervisor because I'm a script supervisor, and I'm like, oh, I'm curious because we never get to see each other because it's the department of one. We're very lonely in the continuity department, and he was saying like, oh, this is great, you've been working on that and that. Well, I've been working a lot on verticals. We should exchange information, and I subbed for him in December, and then people kept calling me again and again and again and again. So that was like, yeah. You don't know. Yeah, it's like it's like, oh, okay, I guess. But yeah, they like to get people who understands the stakes of what we're making, and understand how you pick your battle, because definitely like in my job as script supervisor, you want to do your best so the audience is not lost between eye lines and non-matching outfit. But you have to pick your battle because yeah, that's you go very fast. You don't have time for a lot of takes.
How many pages do you have to film in a day?
We are between 10 and 13. So it's a very fast pace.
And these are 12-hour days?
Those are 12 hours a day, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh. And now
We go fast.
script supervisor, are you in charge of any of the creative content or just making sure it's slotting in correctly?
Slotting in correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what the differences between a script coordinator, script supervisor, you know?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, we're in charge of continuity.
Cool.
And when the script is delivered to you, yeah, it's do you get it in like the how do I put this? So again, these are actually like, because I was thinking like the script for a vertical episode is like a couple pages long, but are you working with a feature length script on set, or are you like parsing out the pages depending on on the episode that you're filming for?
No, I have so we usually have 4 weeks of prep. On the big company I told you about, Real Short, Drama Box, Good Short, and then because they do their production themselves, and then you have other like streaming app services who are basically externalizing the production aspect of the content. And those are not always so organized. Some are less. So when basically I work with the big three, what I call now after 8 months, the big three, they are very organized, and that's what I was telling you a little bit before we recorded this podcast. There's more of a like corporate culture in it. And it's really nice because you can see that they have a lot of care about like the crew and the organization and the safety and all of that. And it's a very nice work environment that they're trying to build. At least on the one that I worked on. I am blessed to have been working with creative producer and producer who are awesome, fantastic.
Oh.
And so this is a big thing. So yeah, so I got the full, sorry, I'm going back to your question. I got the full script about like 3 to 4 weeks before I do my breakdown. And then, it's pretty standard. Like the first AD is giving us our schedule after, and then every day we have whatever scenes we have to shoot, depending on locations and actor schedule and all of the first AD magic stuff. So yeah. Yeah. And GT, you were saying that you wanted to know what was my favorite one, right?
Yeah.
This is my script supervisor, mine, like I'm trying to
organize things. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, okay,
yeah. But she always keeps, but it's like a script supervisor. You keep track of like what needs to be revisited. You're good at your job, I can tell.
Exactly. So my favorite one, what do I say? I'm a little biased because I'm like, being a script supervisor is a great gig for me because I'm a writer director, and it's awesome because I get to really watch closely directors, and it's a treat because I can really see a lot of different directing styles, and I think I'm learning a lot from that proximity as a director, so like it informs my own practice too. And I think that Some directors are really good with like um, enhancing the romance part of any scenes. Others are amazing with like the goofiness of some scenes, because we're playing with cliches, so there's a lot of like sometimes goofy moments. And like the last one, he's very good at like creating like those like funny scenes that sound a little cliche, but that can be very endearing in some ways.
Hmm.
And this is like verticals are like I follow this there is a great Instagram account that's called Vertical Love, something like that. I can like share
Yeah,
with
send
you.
that to us.
Yeah, totally. And it's great because that's like I think it's a British girl who's been binge watching all Verticals content, and she organized like mini award season on her Instagram account for
Oh,
Vertical, which is
that's cute.
adorable. And but she watches so much content that she has she would have been a great guest on this podcast, by the way. I'm sorry, I just think of it now, um but yeah, there is like definitely it's verticals are like feel good content.
Hmm.
and and it's also to some extent what we've been calling on set. I was talking with different people on set, what they're calling also second screen content. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
No.
Yeah,
So
second screen content is sort of it means like content that you're only passively paying attention to. So you've
exactly.
got so you've got your main screen or your main objective of whatever you're doing, but you've got your sort of your second screen, which is where you can just
Mhm.
kind of be passively watching. You can check in, but you don't have to worry about missing too much.
Totally. And so verticals are definitely in that alley because
Hmm.
you don't have to follow the script. I mean, like if I have to tell you the story of any verticals, a poor girl who has to save their dad slash mom, grand slash grandma slash dog slash whatever you want, who doesn't have any money, meets completely randomly every time in the first minute and a half a billionaire.
Yeah.
Sometimes has a hidden identity, sometimes not. Uh, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. And
So
sometimes he carries his babies because they have one night stand. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I mean, that's why
yeah,
I do
that's
cliches. They don't have to know what's going on because you can just
Yeah,
tune in and be like, I already know what's going on. That's how I feel about Lifetime movies. Like, I don't really have to
exactly.
watch them to know what's going on.
Yeah, I was always like thinking that in terms of stories, we are at the crossroads of Lifetime movie or Hallmark movies and 50 Shades of Grey. Because there's a lot of like they want some steaminess a lot. So and it's like female gaze oriented. And I had this
mhm.
discussion with another person on set. Um, it's interesting because like we've been in a world where the male gaze on films was like dominant, and in this little bubble of verticals, the female gaze is everywhere. So yes, we have
So you're bringing
billionaires.
down the page. You're bringing down the patriarchy 1 minute and a half at a time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And we
And you said
have, yes.
your favorite vertical. Like, so what's the
Oh,
name of
my
it, and
favorite.
what should we be checking out?
You
What
know
should we be
what?
watching?
I liked very much the one that was the first one that I did that I covered. I was like not replacing anyone. It was in January, and what was his name? It was he's a vampire CEO,
Empire
and
CEO.
yeah,
I'll
who
just
has to
Google that.
I
Yeah.
love
and it was this time when his director She was great. She's been like working on rom-com in Taiwan for a while, and they flew her in to shoot that vertical, and she was so good at like uh romance stuff, obviously.
Mhm.
That's her alley. And I really liked how she was like subtle in the way she was trying to direct, but also she was so like organized, and she knew how to get what she wanted in one take or two max.
Wow.
Which sounds pretty important.
Yeah.
And it is like so important on set to do that. So I really like that one. And in terms of like story, the one that I'm working on next week, actually, I like very much the writing. It seems that they are trying to elevate a little bit more from this cliche, but it's a stretch, because the problem is that there's a lot of writers sometimes who wants to get on those verticals, but you have to like understand what they're making. They're not here to feed your existential crisis as a writer who wants to be heard as a voice and who has something to say about the world. They don't really care because that's not what they're making. But they're making entertainment and content, and it doesn't mean that you can't get better, but if you want to give better content, I think that what you should aim at is to be better at the romance and the steaminess of those.
Is it Forbidden Desire, the Vampire CEO Servant,
Yeah.
directed by Nancy Chen?
Love it.
I can't remember what streaming platform it is. Is it? No, I don't know.
No, I just see it on IMDb. I don't know what platform
Oh
it's
yeah,
on,
because
but
I think I got the credit on that one. Sometimes I do, sometimes I'm like,
You're gonna do more research after this episode is over.
yes.
oh, definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Have
really
you?
liked she had like this nice shots and the like she has like this glove, he's putting his gloves and we don't know his identity, and I thought she planned it very well. Like we couldn't see him before, and I was like, she built up like the moment, which is good. Like
And these are non-union shoots?
those are what?
Non-union, or are they
Non-union.
union?
Yes. We are non-union for now. But who knows?
And
Because
is it
it's taking a lot of space,
Mhm.
and
Well, the more it
and
continues to employ people, and the more it continues
yeah,
to be like one of the,
yeah,
you know, biggest sources of revenue. I mean, it seems to be
exactly.
disrupting the space in some way. It's
Yeah,
kind of the attention of people throughout the industry
I
enough
know.
to like get the California legislature to, finally
Uh-huh.
do something about these tax incentives.
yeah.
Totally. I was like, I'm a big script notes listener, the podcast, the John August, Craig Mazin podcast. And they did an episode like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, something like that, about verticals. And
So you're saying they beat us to the punch, is what you're saying?
no, I'm just saying the here things. I don't know. Like I think it's interesting because I had another conversation with a director also I worked with, a director of one of those verticals, and she was saying she's been there longer. She's been in the vertical space longer than me, and she said it's interesting because I've been there for like 2 years and a half now in the vertical space, and it feels like the people who works the best are just are there now, and like people who were not really like reliable or following through and things like that, they've just disappeared. And so I've been like on set on those vertical sets for like about 8 months now, and I'm starting to like see the same people. Oh, wardrobe. Oh, I worked with you 2 months ago. Oh, HMU, I was like with you in January. And like, so it's starting to like, it's a small world.
Do you
And is
have
it typically
oh,
uh,
go ahead.
uh, is it typically one director and one writer per vertical?
The writer thing, I don't really know as much as I wish I knew. But my understanding is that for some, like for the biggest one, they have writers. In the usually there are like at least 2 or 3 on each project, and they have also people who are like polisher. I met this girl last time who's like doing a lot of like localization content because sometimes there are like Chinese writers. So they go through a stage of translation, and then they need a writer to localize the content. And others use like the other vertical streaming app who are using external companies to film the content and then deliver it to them. They work with their own writers too. As long as the pitch they did to the main streaming app is greenlighted, sorry. So yeah, that's like, sorry, what was the question again? Tell me. I was like going somewhere.
No, I was just asking if there's typically like one writer, one or
One
two
writer.
writers like on a
Yes.
project. I'm assuming it's like if it's one, they just do the entire story, the entire season.
Yeah.
But if you're saying they have a few, then maybe they just break it up between like, 5 or 6 episodes each.
So no, they do the whole story, because there's no like it's like there is like, yeah, the Forbidden Desire, there's like one story breakdown in, I don't know, 50 to 60 episodes, something like that. Oh, Gabriel, you're talking.
I muted. I'm so sorry. Zoom warned me just before you guys could. You're muted, dumbass. So that's what I've been trying to understand in my mind is there is one feature length script that is being basically. I mean, you filmed the whole script and then it's in post that you guys that it's edited into all of these different episodes, right? It's not like television production where obviously you write an episode of television one after another. You film the episodes individually and you release them individually. Do I understand that right?
Yes, you understand it well. But in the script, we have the episode breaks.
So in the script, it'll say, episode one ends.
Exactly. And but then the post-production is trying to really match this episode because they've been thought about in pre-production in the writing stage. But sometimes, for whatever reason in the scene, they're gonna like go a little after where we put it or a little before, depending on how the scenes were shot too. But they try to be really consistent with that, and they're very demanding. We have we have a lot of connection with the post-production. Like their editing, we finished day 1. By day 3, we have a first cut. And it's like it's rolling. And if something is missing, they're gonna let you know before we end shooting. Oh, we need that extra shot. Could you get us that?
Yeah.
So,
You got to be able to produce content like crazy because these teens are ravenous with it.
yes,
They'll go
yes,
through it in an hour.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And also, yeah, I wanted to mention something because like there were like we have those verticals right now in the US, but it was like at first really developed like in Asia, and
In China
and in
specifically.
China specifically. And I worked with a executive producer who was from Singapore, so they love anyone who's like basically bilingual Mandarin and specifically Mandarin and English, because that really helps them to go back and forth between the basically the investors who are in China and the executive producer levels and all of that. So that's a big thing. And so for instance, like this Singaporean executive producer, she's really appreciated, and they kind of fly her everywhere because she has both culture in a way. So she's very important for them. And at the same for like Taiwanese people who are like, everyone who's like really fluent in both languages is a true asset. And I was mentioning that because there are some of those scripts that have been like at the beginning pure translation from already successful
source material,
pre-existing Chinese verticals to American audiences, and sometimes there's some localization work.
So they're remakes of these.
Sometimes, yes, but they're trying to be. This is something that I've heard. Like they're trying to get more in touch with the Western audiences, and without losing the how to say that, the clichéness of what they're making. But the true challenge, I think, in some way, one of the true challenges of that aspect is because I've watched some of those Chinese story. I don't know if you have, GT, because you seem to and
yeah, I've watched them. Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, what did you think of the production value between the American ones and the Chinese ones?
Some of the production values in the Asian markets are pretty amazing. Like
They
look like actual television shows.
Yeah.
Where the American productions, a lot of them time, they look like, I mean, they look somewhere between soap opera and college student film.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
yeah,
And
there's one specifically that I really liked though, which had an amazing production value. It's just called Cholita Takes LA. I don't know if you've heard about that one.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so that one, it looks like it was filmed more of like a traditional television show, and it has an amazing production value and made kind of an amazing story. But it doesn't have it kind of like trends on novellas, but it doesn't stick to what it seems like the major multiple beats that you were saying. It looked like they were trying to make it more of an actual television show. So if you ever check it out, I'd be interested to see what your take is on that.
Well, my take from the discussion I had with Chinese and Singaporean and Taiwanese director producer were that they don't have the same hours and rates than we do. And so you don't make the same time of content when you work 16 hours on set and when you work 12 hours on sets. And yeah, you don't pay the same, so you can amp up the budget on, like, wardrobe, locations, all that jazz.
It's really interesting. I mean, this makes me think of something completely unrelated to verticals, but Godzilla -1, everybody was raving about the special effects, and everybody thought it was insane that movie, I think, cost around 9 million, American dollars, roughly. It was some super low figure for the budget. I can't remember exactly what. And a lot of people were saying, how can that movie look so good on that low budget? And there are movies that are made for like $200 million in Hollywood that just don't look as good. But a huge reason for that is that the compensation rates in Japan for the special effects people, for the crew, are just worse.
And the director was an actual special effects expert, so he did a lot of the special effects work himself. Kind of going back to our previous episode where like directors wearing multiple hats, like that was one of the benefits of that film.
But I mean, like, it's like going beyond the entertainment industry. I mean, I freelance sometimes in marketing, and I can see like everyone's going like to Upwork and hire people who works at $4, $5, $6 an hour in India, and
Yeah.
they do a great job.
Oh yeah.
So this is like the globalization of labor. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's something to take into account. But I believe that there are like audiences and consumers, because it's kind of maybe a more appropriate term, um, who have some coins to spend on those verticals, and they're aiming at women mainly between 18 and 50, who are willing to spend a little bit on those second screen content.
To see some sexy vampires.
Twilight.
That's my favorite scenes was like the vampire was doing push-up next to his coffin.
Oh hell yeah!
All right, I gotta watch this.
But I mean, vampires are cool. But have you ever worked on a vertical with a werewolf? And
I did. I
Werewolves
had a
are great.
werewolf. It was surprisingly, I haven't
That's the other
observed.
side of the coin of the
I know
vampire.
there was like a big trend. Like I think that first came the werewolves, then came the vampires, and now we're like kind of in a mafia vibe.
oh, okay.
So, but I don't know. I might be wrong. Like I don't have the big numbers. Like it must be like available. When you look at those like streaming app, they show you those ranking, what is performing the best, what is like not the good trend. But it's interesting because like I had another discussion last time on set about what is getting the most views, and it's not necessarily what has the best production values.
Would you be interested in writing a vertical series?
Writing, not necessarily, because I think I would be more interested in directing.
Okay.
I think that's something that I would understand more how to do, and the writing seems to be a little like cryptic. Even so, I understood that you get a little bit of feedback as a director on some minor stuff, not on the general stuff, because as I said before, like the producers are basically, it's like on TV shows, the showrunner has the power on set, on everything. On verticals, producers, creative producer are the one who are really the leaders on the project. So this is why I made all of this comparison between like content and indie film, and so yeah. So that would be in the future if I pitch myself well enough. That's what.
So that's
Yes, tell me.
no, so that's interesting. So just to reiterate, like so on feature films, the director is king. On TV shows, the showrunner is king, but on verticals, the producer has the
Yeah.
final say.
I think it's more like commercials.
Let's say,
Like, yeah. They come, they are the clients, they want this and that. They want that amount of abs on screen and that amount of kisses, and then they're happy.
So honestly, I think it's generous to say that on feature films, the director is king.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that depends what movies you're
Right. Maybe if their
Yeah.
uncle or their parents are funding the movie, then yeah, they're king. But they usually have to be co-king with the other kings who have the money. So
Exactly. Who get the money?
yeah. Yeah,
and is there anything wrong with that? Like, you're paying, you want what you pay for. So.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if it's employing people and if it's letting people stay in LA, where a lot of people are just, I mean, it just doesn't make financial sense to suffer in a city where the industry that you move there for is leaving, or at least it's not dominating there the way it has historically. I mean, people don't still move to Detroit to get into the auto manufacturing industry. If
Mm-hmm.
it's keeping, my friends, my colleagues employed, if they can stay in LA, then all the sexy vampires that you want, all the sexy werewolves that you want, Godspeed.
Yes, absolutely. And things are evolving always. So we don't know where, like, it's great, I think, because that means those vertical contents have found an audience that was maybe not so appeal to Lifemark, Hallmark, or I don't know, 50 Shades of Grey content, and I find like a happy medium. So I think anytime we make something that finds an audience, it's great. It doesn't mean that we can't evolve with that audience too. So I don't know.
I just have to say, I don't understand how people find werewolves sexy because they go into heat. And is there anything less sexy than going into heat? I don't know. I worked for a company that was all about horny werewolves and stuff. So it's
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'm like,
So
I don't
you've
get
had
it.
your fill.
Yeah, I don't understand. Vampires, I get.
Yeah,
Werewolves,
vampires I get. Yeah,
yeah.
but there's something like I
You were
don't
Team
know.
Edward, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for what I'm thinking of. If
Very
you have any
insightful.
questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anybody else have questions for Dahlia before we start to close out?
Do you have any other gigs booked coming up or?
Next Monday I'm on set. So and I'm booked basically every month until December, at least once a month. So that's really good. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Do some like,
Yeah.
financial visibility. So this is really nice, and it's also like the entertainment industry is very like tough also on like your self-esteem and ego, because sometimes when there's a desert, you're like, what's wrong with me? So it's nice.
Like, why can't I find water?
Exactly. So when you get booked, you're like, oh, I must do something right, as said Maria in The Sound of Music. But yeah, so it's nice. So I'm like, I'm grateful, and I don't know how long it's gonna last, because you never know, because nothing lasts. But enjoy the ride.
Day at a time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you on social media, or is there any way that people can keep up to date with you?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be my question.
Yes. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at dmg80, and I'm trying to post like stories usually when I'm on set a little bit. And I update about my own projects. Like I have a music video that's gonna come out probably in the 2 coming weeks, I would say.
Nice.
That I shot with a French artist, and I'm very excited about it. It's called Summer in Los Angeles. Yes, steamy vibe too.
Any vampires in that one?
No, but who knows? Maybe I should do one with a vampire.
It could not hurt. It would not hurt.
I know. Yeah, so that's it. And I have some writing project. I'm working on an audio drama about like it's a ghost story, road trip ghost story.
Oh,
Where's that going to be released? Where can people listen to that?
I'm in the writing stage. I have to pitch it once it's like more advanced, and hopefully I manage to pitch it to some audio drama companies, studios that would be interested in that story. It's going to be like 6 episodes. I have outline. I've written some episode. I'm in the middle of like between draft 3 and 4, so that is still going on. So
you have a few credits in audio dramas, right?
I have. I directed a couple of audio drama. First one I did, I was very excited. It was called The Last Magician, uh, by this writer producer, Christina Castaneda. And she had like a creative podcast and entrepreneurial podcast I was invited to, and then we kept in touch, and she wanted to make that audio drama happen. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll help you direct it and work on like all the sound design and things like that. And it was very cool because I'm a big fan of like I love my favorite audio drama is The Bright Session. I don't know if you've heard of that. Oh my God, you have to. It's I like I'm very good at praising other people.
Is it
But like,
steamy?
yeah, like really, like she's awesome. Um, the pitch is like it's a therapist who only has a patient with supernatural powers.
Oh,
It's
Mhm.
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna have to have you back to talk about audio dramas whenever yours
Right?
drop.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a very welcoming crew you have.
Well, Nicole, you worked in audio. Were they audio dramas?
They were, yeah. Yeah. With
That's
this
awesome.
guy. Yeah, it was something, let me tell you.
Oh, I really like this is a great way to like tell stories with a very cheap cost because you have your mic, you have whatever studios you can make up, and this is great. And the second one I did was for another director, a friend of mine, writer director too. Um, it's called How I Solve the Homeless Crisis in California.
Oh,
It's just,
Oh, well,
yes.
I'll have to listen to that. I'm
Yeah.
keen to
Yeah.
know how to solve the homelessness crisis myself.
It's a serial killer
I
story,
would, yeah, I wouldn't
basically.
follow. I
Oh,
would follow
oh.
that. I listened to a couple of episodes yesterday. I wouldn't follow that advice,
Is it
but
the
it's an interesting story.
is
just
it the
kill them?
Gavin Newsom story?
I don't know,
Pretty much.
but she's very like yeah, she has a Dostoevsky vibe to her writing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm always curious. She's like she Dana has done some indie feature. She's between Terry Gilliam and Dostoevsky. I love that. She's very like it's very wild. So I like it. I like to have like, you know, things that
Yeah.
are different. It's
It
refreshing.
yeah. It's described as like a modern day Crime and Punishment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm enthusiastic about working on my own IP. So I can like, direct and see what I can do with that because the sound design part is really exciting when you get to create universe and story with just sound. I
Yeah.
think it's an interesting challenge. So,
Is there a story that you're just dying to tell in whatever medium?
the story I'm dying to tell, I would say this is this audio drama thing right now, but because I'm like working on it right now. So this is the story of this woman who goes on a road trip and who have like who has basically fertility issues, and she's grieving the child she probably will never have, and meets this young teenage ghost on her ride.
Like a hitchhiker?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Ah, that's creepy. I love a when you can make a ghost story in a new format because this the haunted house thing. There have been a lot of great haunted house
Yeah.
stories, but it definitely needs a new twist or just a new format. So that sounds fun. You should let us know
Yes,
whenever that's ready to release. Yeah, send us the
absolutely.
link.
I would love that. I'll do that, definitely. All right. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
a huge thanks to Dahlia for joining us. You can go follow her on social media, and we'll make sure to keep people updated about all the cool stuff you're up to. Again, just send us the links.
I
And
will.
thanks to everybody for joining for another episode of the Human First podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Gabe Tice.
I'm Nicole Betts.
And I'm GT Cruz.
And remember, you can follow Roadmap Writers on all the socials at Roadmap Writers. Check out our website, roadmapwriters.com. Yeah, and until next time.